giving me this
Thank you
wonderful
very much.
opportunity, and you all were a wonderful audience. Thank you so much.
It's a learning experience for the students. We'll give enough time. So only 3 minutes. Objectives and findings.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais and my co-participants. This is Malesh. I am presenting here a paper on fraud risk management in the Indian banking, a case study of SBI Group. Here bank mainly facing three kind of risks, that is a credit risk, market risk and operational risk. And in my study there are the two objectives I taken. In the two objectives, first one, it is especially for occurrence of the frauds in Indian banks, study fraud risk management practices in Indian banks with specific reference to the SBI Group. And second objectives, it is conceptual fraud risk management practices in various banks and consolidated into a ideal framework. These two I taken in my paper. And methodology I chosen. Primary data I collected, interacted with some of the bank officials, and the secondary data which is published by RBI that I taken for analysis of my study. And coming to my findings, especially there is a findings highlighted in the red mark, you can observe there. It is a 4 years data available with the RBI. So by taking that and I recomputed to come as a conclude, there is a 3 states which is showing a tremendous downfalling in the frauds, that is Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, which is before earlier dividing Andhra Pradesh I am talking about, and it is showing a minus figure and downfall I showed 35%, 21%, 18%, and it is a good symptom in the decreasing in the fraud cases. When we are going for the findings, next findings is even Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh also decrement, it is a 0.6% and it is a -2, it is negligible one, and other states it is increasing trend, it is not that much one, but increasing trend Haryana and Madhya Pradesh, you can see 139, 138% it is increment in the fraud cases. So when come to the my findings, especially in this public sector banks, 32% in the decrease in the frauds, and commercial banks 46%. Especially my case study belongs to SBI Group. There you can observe here, SBI Group's Mysore, State Bank of Mysore, it
Please
is
conclude.
and the next one is the State Bank of India, 45%. And I given here ideal framework as a consolidated for the Indian, which is going to be avoid that. And I am going to conclude now. And it is in the conclude, I am going to suggest here, Indian banks have been adopted effective measure for the risk control. It is evidence from the reducing occurrence of the bank frauds over a period of 4 years as per my study. And ideal framework should be followed. It is tailor-made one. Otherwise it happens means everyone following the same one, it is not suitable. All the banks in India, based on their state, based on their circumstances, they have to be tailor-made it, and they have to use this tailor-made ideal framework. And once again I would like to thanks the audience as well as guests, and especially thanks for my commerce department. Thank you one and all.
Tafsam Sultana.
Of the dais. This is Tabassum Sultana, and my today's topic is role of forensic accounting in detection of fraud and its control. I begin saying the definition given by the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. It is the use of skill in potential or real civil or criminal disputes, including accounting and auditing techniques. I quickly jump to the concept. I have briefed up the concept in 2 heads. We can understand the concepts. I have grouped the concept into 2 heads. First, it offers a litigation support service for existing or pending litigation issues, and secondly, it offers an investigative service which includes and makes use of financial accounting which makes use of financial accounting in determining criminal matters like insurance, theft, etc. The main aim of forensic accounting is not only to understand how the fraud was committed, but also to document in a possible way so that it can be presented as an evidence in the court of law. It is the use of auditing and accounting techniques, and the forensic accountants testify it as an evidence in the court of law. I quickly jump to the methodology. The methodology which is being followed by the forensic accountants. Oh God. Firstly, they meet their client, they identify the important characters in the whole case, they frame an hypothesis and search for the findings which support their hypothesis and plan their logistics. So 2 minutes, I'm just going to take 2 minutes. This step includes verifying bank statements, financial statements, and every possible paper which would give a minute hint to the whole case. Forensic accounting team may conduct interviews and with the concerned parties to frame the irregularities. As my earlier paper has said that, the forensic accountant team have got a special observation and they are masters in the psychological studies. So they can understand through interviews the malfunctionings and the irregularities which was there in the case. I quickly jump to conclusion, sir. 1 minute, just I'm quickly coming to conclusions. It is actually, what I have concluded is that auditing, external auditing as well as forensic accounting will give a retrospective control over the finances. But actually it is important that a strong internal audit system and internal check system should be established so that fraud can be curbed at its initial stage. And secondly, forensic accounting includes every aspect of crime, whether it is legal or criminal. So therefore it is gaining popularity in India as it has been included in our courses. This shows that it is gaining importance in India as well. And its success in India is still another topic of study, I can say. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Soeda Zehra.
Arised and then deciding the action plan. Yes, sir.
Please
I'll
go
conclude.
for
Yes,
conclusion.
yes, sir, sure. Then deciding the action plan, which is based on the knowledge which the forensic accountant has collected while meeting the client, and then investigation. And these are the techniques which are followed by the forensic accountant to investigate. The first one is theory of relative size factor, and then computerized assisted auditing tools, Benford's law, and then ratio analysis and data mining techniques. These are the techniques which the forensic accountant uses to investigate. Then uses, yes, sir, sure. So I would like to conclude by saying that with the increase in the frauds and white collar crimes, forensic accountant has become an important aspect to detect and prevent fraud. It is an important tool. It is a very useful tool which has been used to detect and prevent frauds. The steps and the procedures followed by the forensic accountant has provide a corrective measure to prevent and control the frauds. Thank you.
Amina Faruqi.
Amina Faruqi from Reddy College, and my topic for presentation is impact of forensic accounting and audit in detecting fraud. And the main objective of my presentation is to know what actually forensic accounting is and how it helps us in detecting fraud. In globally changing economic scenario, every corporate wants to grab the opportunity in the market and try to adopt various activities to attain the goal set by them. So due to growing administrative control problems, these accounting records are not depicting true and fair fraud. It's an act of one or more individuals within an organization intentionally involving the use of deception to attain an unjust or illegal advantage. It is mainly done by higher level management through embezzlement and misstatements and misrepresentations, etc. Fraud triangle. There are three main components for committing white collar crimes. They are pressure, opportunity and rationalization, which constitutes fraud triangle. These components are similar to fuel, spark and oxygen, which together cause fire. Forensic accounting is the application of specialized knowledge and specific skills to stumble upon the evidence of economic transactions. One of the attributes of forensic accounting is to retrieve the concealed data and trace the evidence of fraud. So hence I conclude here with saying that forensic accounting has come to limelight very recently as number of frauds and white collar crimes increased enormously year after year. In this context, public needs honesty, fairness and transparency in financial reporting, as they will be the ultimate sufferers. So we can say forensic accounting has become an effective tool in prevention of frauds. Forensic accounting is in nascent stage. It can foster development with global cooperation and continuous technological reinforcements. Thank you.
Thank you, C.H. Ashok.
A very good afternoon to honored dignitaries and everyone. My topic is course, that is SEBI complaint redressless systems, silent features of the SEBI scores, and this is introduction of the silent features, centralized database complaints, online movement of complaints to the centralized concerned listed company, and online upload of action ATR, that is action taken reports, online viewing investors of action taken the complaints and its current staffs. And my objectives is for this regarding advertise about silent features of the scores and remove fears whatever the investors have for the complaints, and prepare the initiation steps to take movement as a investors to take complaints. And my aim is awareness of silent features, every silent feature of the to every investor and as well as every brokers, stock brokers. So must reach to every investor these silent features of the scores. And my conclusion is, if you want to fraud, we can minimize many of steps we can take, like scores and many of techniques, but we can't remove present scenario. As per present scenario, even though we can remove whenever stock brokers, whenever investors have a minimum moral values. Everyone want to show moral values in the but they don't want to follow. Just like example, Subrata Roy, he want to show the moral values of everyone taken of the sponsorship of the Indian cricket team, but he didn't follow the moral values because of the many of the frauds are